right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here, of course, for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Episode 24. Yeah. And we just came off of the hype, the Speedwagon organization
the
in Stroheim
Foundation
has come back.
And I gotta say, like, I'm pretty sure the Speedwagon Foundation manufactures hype itself.
Yes, they do. They do.
Like,
it's absolutely true.
That's why they got so wealthy.
I just have to say, with what Cars did last episode, he's driving me crazy.
You really? Wow.
But seriously, though, I'm glad that now most of the characters, except Cars and JoJo, know. Yes, Lisa is JoJo's
mom.
Joseph's mom.
Even though he still hasn't pieced it together, even though he should be able to.
Right,
but
maybe he'll piece it together this episode.
Probably.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to a very hype confrontation.
Oh, yeah.
Cars probably becoming an ultimate being by the end of it.
Probably.
Because he's got the stone, so...
That's true.
What's there to stop him?
That's true.
It? Yeah. All right, guys, without further ado, let's get into this episode and see how it all goes down. And you shipped them! That's right! You shipped them.
Alright, this music. Oh, nice continuity. Because he made his hand bleed for... So specific. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Jeez.
Now jump out and grab the rope that she's attached to.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, don't throw him off.
Yeah!
That is just so amazing.
Yeah. Oh, wow. He's actually attacking like that.
And Cars could have cut the rope, too. If you get too close.
Ay.
Plucking a flower, a reference to the flower he saved
earlier.
Yeah,
Use some trickery. Wait.
Nice. No. Exactly.
Ooh.
That's...
Yep.
He will. Wow.
He might try to pull some trick here.
Nice.
Oh!
Yes!
Yes! Well played! I didn't know why he did it, but... Yeah, the rope was lying there. Oh my gosh.
Misdirection.
This show, guys, this show. Oh, nice. Oh, that line. Oh my gosh. Oh.
What is this? But...
Oh.
Oh no.
Okay, but that's not a mortal wound.
What happens if Hamon goes into the
Oh,
stone?
oh, crap, okay. Oh!
What?
Oh!
Wait.
Yeah!
What?
Oh, that was good.
That was good.
That's a proper way to...
That's not gonna kill him.
No, it's
though.
not gonna kill him, but... It's pain, it's suffering.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Well, you could blast him just to...
The UV amplifier.
There's a thing called blood loss.
Yeah.
Though. I mean, I know this is JoJo's and that doesn't really exist, but...
なぜエリナおばあちゃんはジョジョに母親は小さい頃に病死したって言ってあるのリサリサというのは仮の名前
Oh,
だ
of course. That
Alright.
makes sense.
本名エリザベ
Oh,
ス
nice.
Okay.
It's very apropos because...
使いに育てられた彼
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Right.
エリ
Yeah.
ナさんの息子ジョージ・ジョースターと恋に落ちジョージとエリザベス二人の間に生まれた子供それがジョジョだ
Hmm. Yeah.
イギリス空軍に所属する軍人だったイギリス空軍でも英雄と称えられるほどの男だったところがそこに再び過去の忌まわしいどす黒い気分
From
に
the
なる
past?
リオという男が作った
Is this how
Okay.
they're leading into the next, like,
Yeah,
villain?
probably.
全てを退治し絶滅させたはずだったが一匹我々から逃げ延び社会に紛れて仲間を増やそうとはせず自分が食らう人間は骨も髪の毛も残さず食らい証拠が出ないように
Jeez.
Okay.
そのゾンビはこともあろうにイギリス空軍の司令官という職に
What?
ついていたのだ
Okay.
そのことに気づいたのはジョージだったしかしジョージはあくまで普通の男
Yeah.
資質と才能はあったのだが波紋の司令
Oh,
を
that's
して
a
いた
that's a problem.
司令官の正体の確証を得る前に
Oh.
ジョージの死は夜間の飛行機事故に見せかけられ
Right.
Mhm.
Obviously.
幼いジョジョをあやしながら私の報告を聞いたその夜
Oh.
エ
Oh.
リザベスは家を飛び出して
And thus Lisa was born.
Yeah.
Oh!
エリザベスは波紋の達人
Oh,
冷
yeah.
静ではなかった
Vengeance. It'll do that.
司令官を殺した現場を目撃されてしまった
Okay.
Oh, and it didn't matter whether or not, you know, he was a...
Mhm.
Because they couldn't explain... Yeah, they
Right.
couldn't explain zombies.
Yep,
yeah.
yep. Okay.
善良で優秀な人間である司令官
So she's just in hiding.
エリザベスは
Gotcha.
危害を加えさらに燃やして殺したと決めつけた
Right. Speedwagon, isn't it? Yep.
Mhm, Yep.
And he offers to help her hide.
Exactly.
Yep.
我々
Nice.
スピードワゴン財団はあら
Awesome.
ゆる手段でエリザベス
Okay.
の身元を消し
I like this story.
Yeah.
イギリスを立ち去った
And how can you deny a request from grandma?
Yeah.
ことを聞いたら二人とも死んだということにしてあげてください
Yeah. It's hope. He's hope that they can go back to normal as being
Right.
just a regular
リ
family.
サリサになった
But dang, Lisa, the,
Yeah.
just so legit.
エリナさんは息子と
Mhm.
夫を失ったのだ
Right.
Yep.
石仮面と波紋をめぐる戦いでだから孫であるジョセフには
Right.
Save him from all of that.
Yeah.
波紋なんか知ってほしくないと思っていたのだよ
No.
But
彼は
you know, she loves her family.
その波紋で自分の母親の命を救ったんだ
And he doesn't even know it
Yeah.
yet.
Uh-huh.
母さんのことを隠せ
Exactly.
ジョジョは波紋を知ってしまったしその波紋でお母さんを助けたんだもの
Yeah, Lisa.
リサリサの気持ちを確かめなくては
Those two need to make the
Right.
decision. Yeah.
大佐準備完了しまし
Oh, of course.
奴に狙いをつけろ
I feel like it's gonna get channeled into
Yeah.
the stone. Stroheim's voice actor is having so much fun.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
The UV lamp needs to charge up. And then
What if this is
he's
a...
gone.
Oh!
Too
Oh!
late.
ストロハイム石仮面だ石石が石仮面にはまっているぞ
Oh!
No way.
He was making a mask that whole time.
Absorbing the power of the sun instead of fearing it. Okay. Alright.
Oh, the music, here we go.
Yep. It is the rainbow powers.
Yep. This music, oh my gosh.
I'm fabulous.
Oh!
And the mask shatters.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Ooh.
it wasn't a burst of rainbow powers. I just want to say.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
you know,
Well done.
he wasn't technically vomiting them, but you know.
No, his whole essence was vomiting rainbows. It
Exactly.
Pretty much was.
Yep.
But holy crap, the shrill dubstep just kind of music going crazy. And
you have to have a great track for something like that.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But they had the episode basically set up into two very specific halves. The first half was the trickery.
Backstory.
Well, no, the trickery
yes.
of the fight between Cars and JoJo, and it was in multiple stages.
Yep.
So they had the first bit where Joseph beat him
Yeah.
with a handicap.
Yep.
Cars is not a great fighter,
Right.
and I think that's a good thing to distinguish, because I was getting the hint that Cars was not the best Pillarman in terms of fighting ability. Wemu was.
Well, and
No, really, like
sure, maybe. I don't know.
Wemu definitely was. I think that
Maybe-
Caesar could have beaten Cars solo, one-on-one.
Maybe that's why when Wemu attacked Cars when he stepped in his shadow, maybe that's why Cars didn't do anything about it. Why he forgave him, you know?
Right. He keeps him on a leash, but in this instance, Cars is supremely arrogant, supremely overconfident. Absolutely got caught up in Joseph's trap.
He thought he could beat Joseph at
And
misdirection and
the funny thing
manipulation
was is that
trickery.
I didn't call it out, and I'm kicking myself for it, but I saw the rope on the ground in that kind of very like AC/DC kind of trap thing that he tried to do, and I was like, that's gonna be something.
Well, right, yeah,
but I didn't say anything, and I should have.
Well, I did. I was like, wait a minute, that rope is disconnected. Like, because they actually
did
showed
say
it.
that?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I
like,
didn't catch on to that.
at first I thought it was like an animation error or something like that.
Right.
I'm like, wait a minute, why aren't the ropes connected? Like,
Right. But that was great. And now we've also spent the other half on the backstory and Lisa's kind of story being revealed. Does that mean that she can now die because we now know her full story?
Yes, except that Joseph still doesn't know that she was his mom.
Right,
And they
but
can
I
tell
mean
him
that-
after she dies.
Yes, but it's not necessary that he knows
Right. That's
everything
true.
right now.
Yeah.
And
So
but for
Lisa
us as the
now
audience,
can die if they wanted her to.
and that sucks because I feel like
Because, yeah, she's awesome.
Elizabeth or Lisa
Right.
is one of the most fantastic additions to the JoJo
Oh, yeah.
universe in terms of characters.
Yeah.
I can't believe
awesome.
we didn't like suspect at all that she was, related to Joseph in some way because of just her radiating the cool nature of
and
the
having
Joestars.
and having a name that is very similar to
Oh, yeah.
JoJo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might have
Yeah.
been something that she didn't really intend to draw a connection towards.
Or
It's
maybe
just-
that was her last bit where she's like, I'm not going to give this up. I'm still going to, I am still a member of the JoJo family.
Yeah, but I think JoJo is like the nickname.
Right.
But,
yes, that's true.
But for most of them, they didn't call... Well, that's a good point. George does fit the JoJo kind of formula.
I mean,
George, JoJo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It does.
George could have been JoJo as well.
yeah, he could have.
I like how we had a JoJo who didn't know Hamon. And
Right.
even though he
and it was
died...
yeah. Well, technically, we've had two Joestars that don't know Hamon, and they were both named George, and they were both killed by some sort of
zombie
vampire beast.
thing.
Much too soon.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good catch. I didn't realize that works quite well. But having all that be focused on the backstory, I'm quite surprised they did that, because it's one of those things where, like, I would never really critique JoJo's as a show for doing that, but it's a noticeable, like, this episode was noticeably less efficient than the
previous one. Yes, because in the previous one, so much happened.
The
one episode, it was ridiculous.
Right. In this one, they had little moments where they made it kind of, like, obvious how Cars was going to actually survive all this whole thing by having him fall into the crystals and then bringing out the ultraviolet amplifier. I'm like, oh no, this is totally not going to work.
Because they totally, like, could have used their ultraviolet lamps on him while he was lying there.
Why not?
Just until they get the amplifier up and ready, you know.
And that's the kind of silly things where I'm like, it's JoJo's,
it's JoJo's. Yeah, they can exactly.
But it felt like this one was, like, just noticeably less efficient. But it gave us the really important backstory, which was probably near perfect in terms of the choices that they made. Every single decision made within the backstory was just perfect. I love it.
Okay, we have to remember this episode for something very, very important.
Yes.
Speedwagon was actually wrong.
That's a good point.
I don't know how to feel about that. My belief has been shaken just a bit.
If even gods can make mistakes, what hope is there for the rest of us?
I don't know. I really don't know.
But Speedwagon, you better make some really powerful prophecies in the next, like, 2 episodes or so. Otherwise, it's all over.
Yeah. Can we, like, trust issues? I mean, like, will we ever be able to take your word at
face value
again, or
we'll see?
Will we begin to question? I don't want that to happen.
Here's another thing that's pretty funny is this is episode 24.
Yes.
And if we consider JoJo's to be a stereotypical show with its episode structure, which it probably isn't, that means we have 1 or 2 episodes left in this
that's true.
Story.
Yeah, but because they did 9 episodes for the whole Dio thing,
throws everything
out of whack.
Out of proportion.
Yeah.
But I could see this whole bit ending in 1 or 2 episodes.
I could as well. Yeah, I definitely could.
I think Cars being an ultimate being wouldn't lead to him really being able to do much crazy stuff. Because the way his character is so arrogant and so selfish and stuff, he's not going to do something where he would, one-hit kill Joseph. It's where, he's going to he's going to bask in the magnificent power that he possesses.
Well, and
display it on some lesser peons like the Nazis or something and kill them all.
And here's something else too, the fact that we've had this reveal of Cars' true nature,
right? That
kind of takes him down a bit on the cool points.
It does.
And as we know, cool points is directly proportional to your likelihood of surviving in the world of JoJo's.
Right, so if Cars has gotten like some negative cool points,
that means his days are numbered.
Oh, very numbered. I don't think he's going to last 2 episodes, but I could see him not even lasting this next episode.
Yeah, and I could see that too.
And they did an inefficient episode this time to do an efficient episode on the next one potentially, where there's a grand, 20 minutes of fighting with about, 2 to 3 minutes of like,
okay,
of finishing the story, or maybe like 12 minutes of fighting and then like 9 to 12 minutes of
this is when Cars is about to go down,
right?
Okay, now they're probably not going to, because this is JoJo's and they know to do things differently each time so that we don't start to detect a pattern,
right?
But does that mean that Joseph could die in the next bit?
Yes, I think that one of the things that they'll do, I don't think he's necessarily going to die, but I think there's a very high chance. I think there's a very high chance that he will. But what they could do is they'll utilize the tension of will Joseph die be kind of the big thing that carries the excitement of the next couple of episodes or episode. And if he doesn't die in this next episode, Joseph,
Or in the episode after that, or
well, no. I see that in the next episode they won't do something like Jonathan, where they'll have the it's happy and he
then,
gets to, and then horrible things again. What I
Yeah.
think will happen is we could see the potential of okay. This is my prediction. Joseph will either die in the next episode.
okay,
But if he doesn't die in the next episode, then the episode after that will be about where he goes on with his life.
sure,
And he will actually live for a long time.
Right.
And he won't necessarily be the like the main character forever, but I think that his character will be a kind of like the next Speedwagon, for instance.
okay.
Because
Hey, you're assuming that Speedwagon isn't immortal.
Speedwagon could become a cyborg, yeah.
Like, I mean,
That's
come on.
true. No one can truly replace Speedwagon.
No.
That's a good point.
What they were doing with the backstory for Lisa, originally I thought they were going to use that as a way to also like tie in the next bad guy.
Oh,
You know,
yeah. I actually thought they were going to bring up
with the
Dio.
monster thing.
I actually thought they were going to
that
bring
would
up
be
Dio.
like because that one thing survived or whatever, and we've been saying that like we had said that Pillarman will probably be a break for Dio.
Oh, that's right.
As a
Because
way
we
to, like,
predicted that
That they would take a break from Dio and
yes.
before they go back to him. Because he is
Right.
like super popular as far as
yeah, because there isn't really a natural extension
Exactly.
of antagonist after this.
yeah, because they can't do another
so there has
extension.
to be a time skip.
Sure. After Cars is defeated,
logically
there's probably
speaking, there's
going to be
a
some
time
kind of
skip. And it's just the question of whether or not Joseph survives.
Right, because I don't think they're going to do something where Joseph will continue. Like they're not going to do like a 20-year time skip and continue with Joseph as the main character.
They
right?
could, though.
They could, but
They really could.
I don't think so, though. I don't think it goes with like JoJo's style to have the main character be an old dude.
Sure, so they have it be...
They have it be like a shorter time skip.
His
maybe.
son.
Well, okay, yeah, right. But if they want to continue with Joseph, the way I could see them doing it is they just time skip like a year or two, and then it's like okay, then they
sure.
sort of reintroduce us to Joseph, right? And then there will be some other bad thing that will happen that will that he'll have to deal with.
I could see the time skip being either or. I do like the idea of a Joestar living.
Yeah, like.
Well, here's one thing where it actually gets a little bit interesting. You could actually metagame this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph is the last male Joestar surviving. So he kind of has to live.
At least until he can have children.
But he's not having a kid with anyone anytime soon.
Well, they did have that random throwaway Arena lookalike at Lisa's mansion.
The girl who was the maid who ends up getting possessed by AC/DC?
Yep.
She
So-
did kind of look like Arena.
Like, startlingly
but
similar.
that's more of the thing that, the character models are reused for. That's why
Possibly.
Caesar Zeppeli looked a little bit like Dio. That's why all
Maybe.
the JoJo's look alike, and
Okay.
I think that's more of the thing there. But okay, so you're saying that because now that the Lisa JoJo ship has sunk, you're jumping onto just the next other female character in existence?
No, I don't want that to... I do not want Joseph to end up with that girl because it looks too much like Arena, and I'm tired of Grandma Arena is awesome, but a part of me would die inside if they reintroduced basically what Arena was in the first arc as another character in this arc. I'm like,
no,
do something different.
I think that what we'll have is we'll have a time skip, and in that time skip, he'll meet someone, and it could be Arena 2.0. But even if it was or it wasn't, I think that whoever ends up getting with Joseph will be a very, very different type of character.
Yes, I certainly hope so.
Because they're with Joseph and not Jonathan,
right? And given
it's a different time.
Yep, it's a different time, and given the prowess that Araki has displayed for coming up with colorful, unique new characters, even if they're only around for 8 episodes or whatever Caesar was around for, and
or
however
like
long
3 for
Lisa's
Arena.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not worried. I just don't want it to be that one person that they introduced earlier. And until they basically bring along someone to bear the next line of Joestar's. Joseph's safe.
Okay, I like that. I like that logic. To be fair, though, I just remembered this. Joseph promised her that he would come back for her.
I know, and that's why I'm worried.
So I think it's a pretty logical assumption.
I would much rather prefer if it was that one random girl that he saved from.
Me too. From the bridge.
Yeah.
From Strizo.
Yeah, from Strizo.
Yeah, that would be really funny.
That girl was cool. Like she had personality and everything.
But she didn't show any affection towards.
No,
Joseph.
not at all. And that's why it would be great, because then they could have the next arc with whatever next
Jacob
villain
has
or whatever.
This thing for tsunderes.
Hey, tsunderes are fantastic.
Man, they're not realistic.
No, whatever. But the point is that it's all about the if you don't have conflict to the thing, right? Okay,
It's
that was
a time skip. You don't need to have conflict.
I know,
within
but
the
they
time
still
skip.
yes, but they would still need to reintroduce the character and just
no, not really. And also another thing, like you could have the conflict be that Joseph he had a kid, but who's gonna marry this guy? No one. He just went and had a kid, and they're like, "Peace out. You're crazy, Joseph. Here's your kid. I'm out."
It started melting the furniture.
No, it's just that no woman could stay with Joseph because he's not a great,
absolutely,
gentleman, really.
No, he's not. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, how old is he right now? Like 20?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Joseph will have a time skip. They could have a mini time skip to where he matures a little bit. Yeah. Because he's not going to be fighting people. He's going to be listening to, maybe his mom, Speedwagon, and
JoJo's Bizarre Slice of Life.
They could for just a little bit. Let's listen to this.
Okay.
And this is their alternative take to the boat honeymoon thing from Jonathan's story.
Okay, sure.
And they show him meeting, maybe the Arena Girl 2.0. Them kind of having that little bit of chemistry, and him being like, you know what, I'm actually ready to settle down. And then they show that whole thing going about, and then they time skip. They have the kid, and then the new threat is introduced. And then we find out whether or not Joseph is going to die. And Joseph could die from the next threat, and that would be the thing that kickstarts the
next
son
part
to
or
be
whatever.
like, I must learn Hamon to avenge my father or something.
Here's something that I would love to see. I love the idea of Joseph having a kid, because I get the feeling Joseph would play around with his kid a lot.
He would be a great and a horrible dad, like
he would
in
be
all
a
the
great
best
and
ways.
a horrible dad in all the best ways. Absolutely. He wouldn't wait just till the kid was old enough to actually play catch with or something like that. And not that he would do something as simple as that.
Right.
But that even when it's a baby, he would he'd be
the
trying to
jolt
teach
of
it
Hamon?
Hamon. Yeah, exactly. Right. That. I'm excited for when/if that happens.
Okay,
but
that so go.
But I really hope it's not with this.
Okay, well I think you're
character.
setting yourself up for disappointment by hoping negatively about something happening in JoJo's.
I hope they introduce another supremely awesome, unique character.
They probably will.
Lady that
I probably won't get with Joseph though.
Well.
But let's go back to this next episode, because I think we're getting a little bit too hard on this.
Yeah.
This fight coming up, Joseph has no reason to win, I'd say at this point. The thing where it gets complicated is that there's a prophecy involved.
Exactly.
We're in a fantasy story, so all the happenstance of this coming fight are completely thrown out the window in terms of being able to predict it. That's why I think we jumped ahead to predicting what happens after that, because that stuff's kind of obvious, but the fight, the stuff that happens in between that, it could be that Joseph loses and there's something about utilizing a Hamon-based jewel fused with a vampire.
Yep.
It just burns out his life force or something like that. And we don't know.
Right, because one of the things that I like that they've established so far is that even if Joseph is, from a power standpoint and all that, supremely lacking, right? He can still beat somebody by quick thinking, by outsmarting them, trickery, all that stuff, right? All that great stuff that we love Joseph for.
Right.
So even with Cars being some supreme being or whatever, Joseph could still pull one over on him. even though he already has.
He could.
Like, and I could see that being the way they defeat him, because with
Okay.
the prophecy of the Redstone of Aja being the thing that will actually defeat him,
yes.
the potential issue with that is then it defeats that sense of agency of the main character being the one to manage to defeat the bad guy.
Which would be cool if, for once, it wasn't the main character defeating the bad guy. It was kind of like what happened with Jonathan and Dio, in that Jonathan died with him. In this, they could have it be where Joseph gives the duty to Lisa, for instance, because Lisa is the one that has this section of the story was started because of what happened to Lisa and George, even though it goes all the way back and it goes back to Dio.
Yeah.
If Lisa is the one to do it, it would be this really cool moment of going, you're the one that made the masks. You're the one that started this whole thing and ruined my chance at being a part of the Joestar family.
Mm-hmm.
JoJo is my kid, and you dare to touch him.
Okay.
I'm gonna punt your head up into space for this after I've melted the rest of your body with ham on.
I would love to see that.
Also, it would work because she probably could still use ham on, whereas Joseph is pretty much worn out.
He has stated that. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a nice mirror trick, though. All these UV lights that break and stuff like that. He, reflects something off of one of the glass slits that hits the stone, and the laser blows his head off.
That would be something.
It would be cool also to see him get, a mortal wound and become, a wheelchair kind of crazy guy, where he's an invalid. So he takes a big hit, and it shows the progression of, him going from having all this trickery and physical stuff to being well, still got my mind, but I'm wounded. And he, sacrifices his body to grab the stone and channel it through his head. I don't know. It's JoJo's. How are we actually going to be able to predict how this is all going to end, other than, of course, Cars losing?
Just that I really hope they introduce a new, unique, awesome character that
Don't
we can...
get too hard on that. You're the one that shipped JoJo and Lisa.
Hey, that was...
You are not good at shipping things in this universe.
That was ignorance, and it's not about the fact of whether or not I shipped them. It was the fact that Lisa was and is an amazing character.
I agree.
And they need to have the person that Joseph ends up with be someone that we at least care a lot about,
Jacob, one of the things that's great about female characters that are written well is they do not have to be the romantic subplot.
No, that is absolutely true.
And JoJo's basically said, hey, you want this awesome, badass female character to be the romantic subplot for Joseph? No, she's his mom. Way better decision. In my opinion.
Which makes his whole nice thing
really creepy in a funny way. Yeah. But by having the story of the female character in his life that's the most important right now not be about romance, I think speaks volumes for the story going forward.
That is true.
I would not want the very next awesome female character to be there just to be his romance option. Not saying that she would be just that, but being there as the primary focus to be, well, we needed to come up with a new female character just because we didn't like
Arena 2.0.
The maid girl who looks a lot like Arena.
Right.
Who HGDC possessed.
Right.
And though he did say he would come back for her. Jacob, I think the evidence is against you. I think that there's enough to say that even if she starts off right now as a boring character, the gist of it, she'll probably become awesome like Granny Arena did.
Yeah, so they just need to give her a 60-year time skip or 50-year time skip.
And that might happen. You never know. Hey, maybe it's not 60, maybe it's 30. Okay, and they actually have a little bit of a more mature, older JoJo main character.
I know this is a weird, silly thing, but it is very hard for me to take her as a character seriously. Not that she really is a character right now.
What was Arena's character in the first? Non-existent.
I know, and
so,
that's why I don't want to see it happen again.
It's not going to happen again because.
anyways, I know. I'm rambling. This is where I'm at right now.
Yeah, but either way, I feel like this is one of those fun moments where JoJo got predictable in that we know, that this is all going to end well for the good guys and stuff, but how it's going to end for this section of the story,
who knows?
Who knows? I have no idea. But I'm here's where I'm actually sad, is there's going to be a point probably very soon where we either won't get Joseph anymore because he'll be dead, or we won't get the Joseph we remember maybe anymore because he'll be like, a dad, and he'll be all mature, and he'll be fun and quirky.
Okay,
but that young side of him will have died.
Yes, but even if they do that, I feel like there will be a transitional period.
Yes, of like one episode, and then it'll be over. That's my thing. Is that we had this fantastic character in Joseph.
Oh yeah,
and I
Joseph
feel like
is
like
awesome.
we're ready to mourn, for kind of the passing of the story into whatever's coming next. But I don't think we're really ready to mourn for Joseph yet.
No, we're not.
And that's really hard.
So not.
I really appreciated Lisa. I really appreciated Speedwagon.
And Caesar.
I really appreciated Caesar and all these other characters that are probably going to move on a bit.
Yeah.
And even Stroheim and his ridiculousness.
Stroheim!
Yeah, he was a great meme character. I love him. But Joseph, I'm not ready for, and I don't think I ever will be.
Nope, and that's why it's gonna suck.
It's gonna be great, Jacob. It's gonna be great. We have a lot of JoJo's still ahead.
We do.
Okay. All right, guys. This was a lot of fun. We can't wait for the next episode. If you want to watch that next episode right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access. Also comes with a Discord where you can chat with us about storytelling or what have you. Yeah. And we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.